Hey, it's Brittany XOXO and welcome to my channel. This is where I share my journey, life's ups and downs, and all the things in between. So stay a while. If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the XOXO family. But like my 7-year-old daughter says, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, let me just say Happy New Year. It is officially 2025. Can y'all believe it? I can't. It seemed like 2024 went by so fast, but I wanted to sit down today to talk to you guys about my New Year's reset and New Year goals and the things that I didn't happen to accomplish last year that kind of carried over into this year, and some of the new intentions, because I don't like to call them goals or resolutions. I like to say intentions. So let's talk about our intentions for 2025. So reflecting on last year, 2024. So what I did at the end of last year into the new year, I'm gonna show you guys this vision board bingo. I made one for this year too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna share that one with you. I didn't quite finish it, but this was my vision board bingo for 2024. And as you can see, a lot of things aren't crossed off, but that's okay. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Once the girls found out I had a gold marker, it was a wrap. I ain't seen that marker in months, but some of the things on here I actually did accomplish. I just didn't have my gold marker to mark them off. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I did accomplish in 2024. I was able to travel to a new place. I went to Aruba and I went to Colombia, so that was cool. And well, actually Aruba was the end of 2023, kind of into 2024, but I'm gonna still count it. I actually have grown my Instagram community to 2K on here, but actually I was able to grow it to almost 5K. I actually hit 5K on the 1st of this year, so yay me. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm Brittany XOXO. I see you there. I post a lot of fun content on there as well. And so let's see, what are some of the other goals? Okay, I have go see my thyroid doctor. That was something that I have been putting off for years. I did an ultrasound on my thyroid a while ago. They said it probably was nothing wrong, and so I just kind of was like, I'm not gonna go back. So I went ahead and followed up with my thyroid doctor. Everything was all good. Your girl is good. And let's see, participate more in church activities. And so I was able to do that. My daughter is a part of the youth choir at our church. I am a parent volunteer. I also was a part of like a mom's Bible study, and I did another Bible study at my church. So that was really cool. And I also do another Bible study outside of church. It's called the Homegirl Bible Study. It's hosted by my friend Brittany Adams. If you want to check out that Instagram for the Homegirl Bible Study, if you're looking for a Bible study, it's a really good way to dive in and learn about the Bible and learn about God and just be with other like-minded women. So let's see, we're gonna go ahead and look at some of the things that I didn't accomplish last year. Create a monthly budget. Yeah, I did really bad as far as budgeting last year. I took too many trips that I didn't have to. I did a solo trip for my birthday to Jamaica. It was okay, but I honestly could have kept that money and did something else with it, or saved it and actually put it towards something that I needed. I did a trip to Tulum, which was fun. Me and my bestie went, but I don't know if y'all been to Tulum. I've been before. It is so expensive. Like, it's bad. Like, if y'all want me to talk about Tulum and traveling and stuff like that, go ahead and leave that in the comments, but Tulum will never see me again. Never. So that was something that I wasn't able to accomplish or conquer in 2024, creating a budget and sticking to it. Also, let's see, stop working during my lunch break. So I work from home, my 9 to 5, and so it's easy when you're working from home to kind of just get stuck at your desk and not take breaks. And so I wanted to be more intentional about taking breaks, and it didn't happen. I ended up sitting at my desk all day until it's time to pick up my kids. And so that was definitely something that I wanted to work on last year, but I didn't. But I'm definitely going to prioritize that in 2025. Let's see, what other thing did I not accomplish on here that I really wanted to? Really, that's it. Looking at this now and reflecting on it with you guys, I did a lot of the things that I said I was going to do, even though they aren't crossed off. Like, I curated a self-care experience for my brand. So For those of you who don't know, I also have a product-based business where I have self-care boxes, journals, planners. It's called 800 XOXO. And so with that in my business, I wanted to really lean into providing self-care experiences for women that are in the same boat as me, sometimes can get overwhelmed with life and just like to have a good time and get together with good company and just relax and enjoy themselves. And so I did in December. I accomplished that goal. I'm very proud of myself. I hosted a holiday unwind experience with my friend Brianna. We did it at Golden Black Candle Lounge. It was beautiful. Everyone loved it. People were asking me when we're going to do the next one. We're not going to talk about that right now. But I did. I completed a lot of these things. I did 2 business accelerators for my business. I didn't have a chance to take my kids on vacation, but that's something that I'm going to do this year, especially since I don't plan on traveling as much. And help my son find his next step. So that was a big one for me. So I have a 19-year-old son. His name is Christian. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was help him like figure out what he wanted to do like in life. And it didn't have to be like, I want to be a doctor or I want to be a teacher, like not that type of next step. I just wanted to help give him some direction into adulthood. He's very stuck on, he has a job. He's had a job. He graduated in 2023, but he just seemed very unmotivated. And so I was getting on him and harping on him that first year after he graduated, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. But honestly, I had to take a step back and allow, some grace towards him and help him the way that he needed help, if that makes sense. Like some kids don't respond to that yelling. They feel like it's nagging, and I get it. So I kind of switched gears and we had more conversations about like, what do you want to do? What can I do to support you without, without being overbearing. Like I still want him to do the things himself. So getting his driver's license was a big thing for him. He didn't have his driver's license. He didn't seem like he cared about having his driver's license. He had a car. My grandmother left him a car when she passed away in 2019, but he just really did not seem to want to drive. He wouldn't mind Ubering or catching a ride. And so getting him his driver's license was a huge milestone, not only for him, but for me. And so I'm very proud of him. And I'm very happy that I'm able to cross that off of my list. But let's go ahead and start talking about intentions for 2025. Let's talk about how to reset, refocus, and renew in 2025. One of the main things that I'm hoping helps me with all my goals is creating a routine. I tend to get really burnt out. I have a lot to do all the time. Like this year or last year, my daughter started middle school, so there are 2 different schools. And just the whole routine that we did have previously just went out the window. And so I still am having a very hard time just getting into a healthy routine, not just morning routine, but a morning routine and an evening routine with the girls, because I feel like when things are organized, they flow better. So I'm starting this year off with the Daniel fast. I will be doing a 21-day fast that's going to consist of fruits, vegetables, water, no alcohol, no added sugars, no caffeine. And I'm going to be doing that with my church. And so I'm really excited to see how that helps me with my routine and how it helps me grow my relationship with God, because those are 2 of the main things that I want to focus on in the new year. Because I feel like focusing on God and focusing on maintaining my home is going to help everything else flow. Everything else with my content creation journey, everything with my product-based business, with my 9-to-5, everything is going to flow better once I have like that North Star. So I'm really looking forward to starting this Daniel fast. And I'm also going to be getting more active. That's something that I kind of fell off on last year as well. I used to do the stair stepper like a champ. I used to be on that stair stepper for like 30 minutes. And if anybody ever tried the stair stepper, it is not easy. I tried to do it a few weeks ago and barely lasted 10 minutes. So I'm really excited to get back into the routine. I'm going to get on that stair stepper when my daughter's at practice. I'm going to be walking around my neighborhood, like not too much, but just making sure that I stay active along with eating better and treating my body right, because our body is a temple. We need to nurture it and honor it, because I mean, if we're not in good health, if we're not feeling good, if we don't have energy, we're not gonna be able to do any of the things we wanna do. So that is how I plan on doing my reset. My main focus of my reset is going to start with this Daniel cleanse and just making these healthy lifestyle changes. And another thing I want to do is get back into journaling. So like I mentioned earlier, I do have a product-based business, so I have journals. I'll show you guys one. Let me see. Okay, so here, this is one of the journals from my brand, and it's a self-love journal. And I started off strong last year, and I've been journaling. I can honestly tell you the exact date I started journaling. It was January 15th, 1998, the day my mother passed away. My cousin brought me a journal, and from there it just kind of changed my whole life. Therapy off and on, but being able to journal is just so therapeutic. And so I have many journals. I honestly still have that very first journal that my cousin gave me. I have it in my nightstand. I haven't read it, I haven't opened it. I don't even want to know what it says, because that was such a hard time for me. But getting back into journaling and daily devotions, I'm really looking forward to incorporating into my daily routine, because I know that that's gonna help. It's what I need to kind of help keep me balanced with everything. The second thing that I'll be focusing my intentions on is budgeting. Like, I have to do better. So this year I do not plan on traveling much. My daughter has a couple of out-of-town trips for her dance team, but I do not plan on taking a birthday solo trip like I did the past couple years, which I did enjoy my solo trips. I love a good solo trip, but I don't think I'm gonna take one this year just because I don't need to. This is actually my last year in my 30s, and so I'll be 39 next month. And so I really, really, really want to focus on my road to 40. I want to focus on my trip to Africa. That's like my dream vacation, is going to Africa. So I'm planning on doing that when I turn 40 for 2 weeks. And so with that being said, I will not be doing lots of traveling. Like, if y'all see me on like maybe a little weekend trip or something, just don't say nothing. I have a bad habit of buying an outfit every time I go somewhere, and I go somewhere a lot. I do, like, I'll admit it. I be out in these Dallas streets, and I'm like, I gotta really get out of buying a new outfit every time I go somewhere, because I got clothes in the closet. I have clothes with tags on them in the closet. So I'm hoping that helps. And I also have a budget sheet that I'm going to write down all my expenses, figure out what I absolutely need and what I could cut out. And I saw the other day on It's Court, I don't know if you guys know her on Instagram or YouTube, go follow her as well, but she talked about doing a budgeting challenge, and I'm about to have to join, because it got really out of hand last year, and I cannot continue that in 2025. So my third goal is focusing and locking in on my content creation journey. I've been doing this for about a year and a half now. I started in the summer of 2023 on Instagram, deciding to be more intentional about what I post. And from there, I grew from about, I want to say I started about 300 followers, and my page was private. And today I have about 5,000 followers. And so just with organic growth. And then I started this YouTube channel at the end of last year, which is something that had been on my list. I honestly started the channel like in March of last year, and then I never posted anything on it. And so just trying to be consistent with my content and coming up with a schedule that makes sense for me and my lifestyle and my family, because my family comes first, my kids come first. And so making sure that everything makes sense. And so I want to be more organized. I'll be using some tools like Notions. I also will be creating like a whole content schedule of days that I film, days that I post, and Notion is great for that. I got a template that was really, really helpful that I can direct you guys to the template. I got it from another creator. If you want to know about it, let me know. I can definitely post that in the comments. But being more organized, being very intentional with who I'm working with, because I didn't mention this before, but my 2 words for the year, and I know people usually have one, but my 2 words for the year are discernment and intentionality. And so I feel like they go very hand in hand, because you want to be mindful of who you're associating with, who you're working with, who you're dealing with. And then with that, you want to be intentional about those relationships and partnerships. And so those are my 2 words for the year, and I really plan on putting that into my content creation journey. I don't want to stretch myself thin. I feel like last year I stretched myself thin, just was all over the place, didn't know what I really wanted to do or wanted to focus on, but I was able to discover it because I was posting like all kind of different things. And so figuring out what my audience liked and what they want to see, which coincidentally ended up being the mom content. And oh baby, I can do mom content. I'm a mom. I've been a mom for like my whole adult life, so we could do mom content. So, leaning into the mom content, but also, listening and engaging, and also really building community. Like the event I told you about that I did in December, most of the people that showed up are people I met through social media. Like, let that sink in. Like, I hosted a whole entire event, and this was really, it was like my second event. I hosted another event before a couple years back, but this was like my first like really big event that I hosted, and almost everybody that showed up, and we had 5 vendors, and about half the vendors were people that I met through social media. So don't let anybody fool you when they say, oh, it's just Instagram, oh, it's just YouTube, oh, it's just TikTok. Like, you can really make meaningful relationships and bonds with people through social media. And I just really cherish that, and I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to doing that more over here on YouTube. If you have questions for me, any type of content y'all want to see, let me know, because I'm happy to share, and I'm just happy you are here watching today. Another one of my intentions for 2025 that I'm already kind of lacking on, I was supposed to be doing it last year, but it carried over into this year, is just getting organized, like my house, like my household. I'm the type of person, I could work in, like, I call it organized chaos. So as long as I know where everything is, then we can keep the train moving, because I have so many things to do. A lot of times it's hard for me to stop. So I really want to cut down on that, because I get burnt out a lot. Like I mentioned, when my daughter's going to different schools this year, we have to get up like 30 minutes earlier than we did last year, and it is tearing me up. I mean, I'm having the hardest time, and then I'm having to pick them up at different times, and it's just really, really threw me off. And so I want to get back into a routine. I want to get back organized. I want to pull all their clothes out from that they don't fit from last year and from the year before, donate them. I want to do the same, declutter my closet, which I did do last year, but that's something that you have to do on a regular basis. So I feel like if I can keep up with it quarterly, like start this month, January, do it again in the spring, do it again in the fall, and then again next winter, I feel like that would help me a ton. So if y'all have any organization tips, please let me know. I'm open to them all. Even now, I was supposed to be cleaning up today. I got about halfway through, started watching Later Daters on Netflix, and it was a wrap. So any organization tips y'all can give me, I need them, please and thank you. And my last intention, which not last but not least, is keeping my kids at the center of what I do and helping them reach the goals that they want to reach. So my 19-year-old son, he finally got his driver's license. Great, but I'm really trying to teach him responsibility, because for the most part, he kind of been chilling. He graduated a year and a half ago. We coming up on 2 years, and it's like, I'm giving you grace, and I'm trying to let you make it, but at the same time, baby, we got to be doing something. So he has bills he has to pay around the house. He's not just living rent free. Like I'm not charging him rent or anything, but he has a couple bills that he's responsible of paying. He has a date that he has to pay them, and I make sure I keep him accountable. He's looking for another job, a big boy job. So hopefully that's something that's coming along in the next couple months, to where he'll really be able to learn what it's like to have to be responsible for himself, to have a real big boy job that could turn into a career, and how he can nurture that into something that he can carry into his adulthood. Maybe he wants to move out. I don't know. He claimed he want to move out far away from me, so I don't ask him to do stuff, but I don't believe him, because he's very much a mama's boy. But I definitely want him to be able to get to a point where he can move out, when he wants to. I'm not pushing him out the nest by any means. He'll be 20 in April, but giving him the resources. I got him a credit card. I told him this is what you need to do. Only use it for gas. When you get paid, you need to be paying it down. Keep the balance below 30%. Like, I'm trying to teach him these things that he can take with him when it is time for him to leave the house. And so that is still a priority of mine, even though we did get the driver's license last year. That's great. But now what we gonna do? You're not just gonna be driving around hanging out. Like, you gotta do things like pick up groceries and things like that, because you live here too when you're an adult. Also, my girls, so my middle child, my daughter Skylar, she has a lemonade stand business that last year we really didn't do too much with. And a lot of that is because she's older, and I let her know, hey, it's been me doing the work. We've been doing this lemonade thing since she was like 5 years old. She's been on the news about it. She was selling at the Dallas Farmers Market, but it's a lot of work. A lot of work on me. Like, I'm making the labels, I'm making contacts and connects for her, I'm scheduling her to do these events, and then we're making the lemonade. We make it, it's not just like little powdered lemonade with water, sugar. No, we're squeezing lemons, putting it in bottles, and putting labels on it. Like, it's the real deal. And so kind of figuring out if that's something that she really wants to put her energy into. If it is, I'm here. I'm gonna be here for her. If not, let's find something else. She's still adjusting to middle school, so I totally understand if that's something that we want to put on the back burner, but helping her find her own way, because she has a big brother. He has a very loud personality. She has a little sister. She's very extroverted and a loud personality. So I definitely want Skylar to have her own thing as well. And then speaking of my youngest, she's in dance. She likes to sing, and she wants to run track. And so kind of help her figure out, what do you really want to do? You say you want to run track, but I feel like you just want to hang out with your friends. So we might not be doing that, but she's a great dancer and she's a really good singer. We had a singing teacher for her last year, a vocal coach for her last year. So she also wants to create content. Y'all look at my other videos and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So even with her at being just 7 years old, if that's something she wants to do, I want to be behind her 10 toes. And so we are definitely going to be focusing on that and helping her get to where she needs to be. So those are the main things that I wanted to focus on in 2025. And I feel like focusing on all those things will help me grow 2025 and beyond to be the woman who I know I can be. And I'm gonna be honest, I've come a long way. I've come so far from like 6 years ago. I was getting a divorce. I didn't know what was going on, what I was going to do, how I was even going to keep the house we lived in. Then a year after that, my grandmother, who was my rock, she got sick. And so I was literally being a caregiver to her. Every chance I got, I was with her, even if I was with her at the hospital, with my work computer. I was with her trying my best, to get her through that really difficult time until she transitioned. And then even dealing with that. And that's something that I didn't deal with. I didn't grieve for her for a while because I feel like I couldn't. I feel like I had to be so strong for other people. Then I got a therapist. Shout out to my therapist. If you've considered getting a therapist or you've tried therapy and it didn't work, I really recommend getting a good therapist, because having a good therapist can really help change your life. And so having a great therapist, diving deeper into my relationship with God and going to church and just being very intentional about the things I want to do in my life, the things I want with my kids, and where I see myself like in the next 5 years. That's really what I'm working on. So these are my intentions for 2025, but they really are my intentions to help me grow to be the woman who I know God promised me to be. And I really just hope that self-care, just making sure that I don't lose sight of myself in all the things I just mentioned, just keeping self-care. And when I say self-care, I mean, for me, self-care, it isn't just like going to the spa and going to get my nails done and my toes done. Like, it's so much more to me. Self-care to me is journaling. Self-care to me is going to church, especially like when I'm feeling bad. I can't wait to go to church when I'm had a really rough week. So going to church for me is self-care. Spending quality time with my kids, movie night with my kids, all of that is self-care to me. So I feel like that's going to really help me maintain balance throughout the year, and I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot of that with you guys. So I want to encourage you to reflect on last year and some of the things that you really did do and that you're proud of, and also some of the things that maybe you didn't get a chance to do, but that's okay. We can either bring them into the new year, or sometimes plans change. Like, I pivoted so much last year from what I thought I was going to do into what I actually did, and I'm okay with that. Like, it is nothing wrong with that. So just reflect on last year and set some intentional goals for 2025. And if you don't mind, go ahead and share some in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear your plans for the new year. And with that, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to the XOXO family, like this video, and if you guys want to watch my journey with the Daniel fast, I'm going to try to share it on here. I post every Sunday, so I'm going to try. If I don't share the whole journey, I'll definitely share the end and my reflections on the Daniel fast. But go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I have the same handle on Instagram. I'm Brittany XOXO. I'll add it here as well. Follow me. I'm going to be keeping track of my journey, and if it's something that you want to do, if you even want to join, you don't have to join the exact day I do. It's a 21-day fast, and join and let me know what you think and share your progress with me. But again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. Love and light. XOXO.